Well, the African Union Summit was coming to a close this Saturday. Let's get more details now from Famida Miller, live for us from Addis Ababa. Famida.
Well, Panina, thanks very much. As we saw there, President Robert Mugabe of Zimbabwe has been appointed as the chairperson of the African Union. And addressing the closing ceremony a little earlier on, he had said that he wants Africa to pull out of the International Criminal Court. He says he wants this proposal to be put forward on the agenda in the upcoming summit in South Africa in June. And he's already begun making headlines looking at some of the proposals that he would like to put forward. Now, we are still waiting for the chairperson, Robert Mugabe, as well as the chairperson of the AU Commission, Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, to address the media a little later on this evening about the resolutions that have come out of the summit thus far, looking at issues around Boko Haram as well as Ebola and general peace and security across the continent. Now, as we had seen there earlier, the head of the Peace and Security Council of the AU had said a multinational force by the African Union would be sent to Nigeria to fight Boko Haram. So far, we haven't seen very much action by the AU on that with regard to boots on the ground. So far, the only country responsible has been Chad, along with Cameroon, where Chad has deployed troops in Cameroon close to the Nigerian border. And a little earlier on in the week, Chad had actually sent troops into Nigeria to a northeastern border town to repel Boko Haram troops there. This was actually the first time we saw foreign troops on Nigerian soil to fight Boko Haram. Now, of course, the AU putting together a 7,500 strong force to fight Boko Haram. They're expected to meet again in Cameroon in days to come. They haven't set out the exact days, but at least to determine when exactly this force will go into Nigeria. Now, one of the other issues that we're waiting for developments on has been IGAD reaching a resolution on developments in South Sudan. And so far, nothing has come out of that meeting. They were meant to have met on Thursday this week, again earlier on Saturday, and later postponed to Saturday evening. And once again, nothing yet. We have seen the Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta meet on the sidelines with the South Sudanese President Salva Kiir, as well as the Ethiopian Prime Minister, but we've not heard any concrete resolutions thus far. Panina, up to now, that's been the update from the African Union. We do await that update from the chairperson, as well as the chairperson of the union, Panina, with that, we'll go back to you.
All right, Famida, thanks very much for that. Famida Miller, live for us in Addis Ababa. Well, CCTV managed to speak to Rwandan President Paul Kagame to find out his view about the plan to set up a regional force to counter the Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria. And here's what he had to say.
Now, one of the major issues that the summit is meant to address is that of Boko Haram. How do you view the regional response to that threat as well as the AU's approach?
I think that has been very slow also in a very urgent situation like that. Everyone wishes more could have been done and faster. Evidently, the suffering in that situation is to an unacceptable level. So there is more to be done. There is, I think at the regional level there is need for broader and deeper cooperation and lay the ground for other people to also maybe come and support the effort on the ground to deal with Boko Haram. This is not an insurmountable problem, really. But it requires commitment, it requires working together, it requires organization. I think this is a problem that can be dealt with.
Looking at the programs around the African Union, do you see their work translating to changes on the ground? And what does it mean for the citizen on the ground?
When meetings happen like this, as we attend summits like this, and we have a theme about empowering women, or we are talking about security and many other important issues. This is a moment to really, urge people to reflect, to say we need to be moving faster, we need to be doing more. We can't just keep talking about things and not doing much of what we have committed ourselves to.